On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if Kara continues to break bad on My Adventures with Superman, if the boys finally commit to a final plan before next week's episode, and if a young lawyer named Matt Murdock can get Peter out of jail on Spider-Man the Animated Series. All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, a podcast where we pick what the best shows of the week are and talk about those. My name is Cassie, and I will be the host for this episode. I am joined by one of my best friends in the world.
Oh, stop.
The best person. I just can't say enough about them. Even... Oh, God. Okay. Well, there's Ryan.
Oh, wait, you weren't talking about me that entire time?
I just needed that sound to stop. It wasn't going to be you, but it is. I needed to shut that down.
That is the noise, and you know this, Cassie, that I make when I'm eating a cupcake whilst fucking a cupcake.
Ooh! And it happens more frequently than it should, honestly.
Oh, what are you going to do with two cupcakes? Eat them both?
Yeah. That's how you make a little sandwich out of them.
No, that's one cupcake. You take the top off the bottom, put it on the top.
I can't rip a little piece off. I'm
You're
just going to take
weak?
two. I'm just going to, I've never,
This cupcake is so strong. How would I ever, Jesus
Why would
Christ.
you bring up my sensitive little muscles and sensitive bones this early on?
How is it that, we've already started this episode where we've now heard how not manly I orgasm, and you're already the weakest of the two of us?
Yeah.
Is there someone weaker? Is there
no.
someone could just make us look tough that you could bring on?
Yeah, I think there is someone who's maybe a little tougher than us. I brought in a ringer here. It's Caitlin.
Strong.
Did you just give yourself a hernia?
I gave myself hemorrhoids and a hernia at the same time while also exploding all the veins in my neck. And that's what I do all the time because I am strong.
That is still making her simultaneously getting a hernia and a hemorrhoid at the same time is the strongest out of the three of us.
I do. There is no part of me that doubts. If we could pull the curtain back a little bit, that Caitlin is by far the strongest. I have seen her fucking crack nuts open with her toes. She is a beast.
Well, the toe strength, you don't want to know what she does to get those toes that strong.
I kind of do.
Caitlin, are you willing to share your toe secret with the world?
I'm going to be honest, you have to pay for that. I do have a toe fetish thing that I make a lot of money on the side. So I can't really reveal my secrets, but I'm going to tell you, Ryan, it's not what you think.
And Ryan, what were you thinking?
How she does it is not what you think, much like where the Y's are in Caitlin's name. I got to be honest, if we can, again, pull back the curtain, this whole fucking OnlyFans Caitlin website, I have not known if this is a bit or a real thing my entire life.
It lives on the verge.
Yes.
On any moment, it could go either way.
If I get desperate enough.
If the foot market, honestly, Ryan, I'm going to get so real with you right now. Do you want to know the demographics on the foot market right now?
Is it 100%
it's fucked,
of dudes?
Dude. It's fucked, man. It is so hard to break into the foot market.
Oh, it's so filled. It's it's swamped right now.
There's so many feet in the world, and we're just one girl, you know? How's but one girl going to break into the foot market?
You two are one girl, so is Cassie the manager?
But yes, of course she is. But one girl, but 2 feet, but 10 toes.
In that, you expect that to break through the market?
For some reason, I was cool about all of this until I heard that Caitlin has 10 toes, and now I am sick. I am nauseous. Something about that just makes...
You freak, Caitlin. But yeah, I brought Caitlin to specifically bring that freak energy for tonight's show because I think we need it. We're lacking Mike, so you get rid of one freak, you bring another on.
That's right.
That's how we roll here. And we need that energy to talk about these shows because today we're going to be talking about, of course, Spider-Man the Animated Series, and the other show is The Boys because it's out, so we're going to talk about it.
Cassie, do you close the tab every time you say something? And
yeah,
then you have to open it up
I got to pull it back up. That's kind of like if I were to describe how my brain works. second from second. It's like as if you were pulling up a tab and closing it between each word. Honestly, I'm kind of building the ramp as it goes. I didn't think you could tell with this flawless podcasting.
Do you want to ask Thanos what he has to say about what you're doing?
It looks like Thanos is telling me to fuck right off.
Yeah. Thanos is in the corner over here telling us to fuck off.
That's rude of him. But Caitlin's here to support me. I brought her for freak energy and support. But Spider-Man the Animated Series, Ryan, we're going to talk about that. The Boys, we're going to talk about that. But before we get to that, let's start it off with My Adventures with Superman. On the 8th episode of Season 2 of My Adventures with Superman, Brainiac is using Black Mercy to get inside Clark's mind and learn about his weaknesses so he can take over his body. After digging through his mind, Brainiac learns that Jimmy and Lois are his biggest weakness. Speaking of them, they spend the episode teaming up with Kara to try and save Superman. Taste buds, I ask you, there's definitely bigger things to talk about and more engaging questions.
Let's do it.
But I gotta ask you, should Brainiac look more like a brain?
That's your big question?
Yeah, dude, it fucked me up all episode. I hate this little AI robot-looking fuck that they gave me when a dude's supposed to be Brainiac.
Isn't he just green in the comics?
He's just green. I did have to look him up because I was like, did the comic pop off on him? And the comic did, but in a different way. So
you want Krang from Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Obviously, I want Krang. At any moment when I'm like, who's the perfect character and how could I draw it? It's Krang.
When I'm on a donut, when I'm feeling horny, I just want Krang.
It's Krang that I need. It's Krang that'll satisfy whatever the needs are.
I thought you were going to go a different route, but no, we'll talk about how Brainiac doesn't look like a brain. And
again, and I want a hot 10 minutes on this.
He looks hardcore like a Pokemon.
Yeah, he does look like a Pokemon. That little guy.
Pinsir.
Wait, do Pokemons wear Pokemon? What's the plural?
No, you said it so perfectly.
Pokemons?
Guess his age.
Well, what's up with all your Pokemons? Do they wear clothes and armor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They absolutely do.
Don't say it like I'm a fucking idiot over here. Not
Pokemans.
Pokemans. No, it's just like weird little shapes, you know, and they have like weird little voices and stuff.
Cool. Can't wait to watch. I think that like we talked about this last week, but part of the Superman lore is how you get to sort of redesign these ideas every iteration. And to the point where like, oh, I'm confused at this point between comic books, Smallville, Superman and Lois.
Yeah, dude.
My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah, dude.
Legends of Tomorrow. Mm-hmm. They also had like, I've seen Brainiac 46 different ways in my life.
Yeah.
It's getting confusing, but I like this one because it's very... He clearly designed his outfit to be mean.
Yeah, he's a mean, tough boy.
Like, you know how like bikers ride around on motorcycles and they're like, well, I can't wear a clown costume. I want to wear a real mean leather.
I'm going to wear chaps and a leather jacket with tassels so they know I'm a fucking badass.
And also dress a little bit like a clown. So yeah, I think this guy's horrifying. And it's not... His look is horrifying the way he speaks.
His
especially to his daughter.
His little squeaky voice.
That's what is horrifying. He is a fucking abuser.
He is indeed. You said daughter, and I totally forgot that Kara kept calling him daddy.
Daddy.
Daddy. But Ryan, what did you think I was going to say on this one?
Brainiac takes over Superman. And redesigns his entire costume. And Cassie,
yes, he does.
I wanted so badly to ask you about this because what Brainiac does to Superman is gives him bare feet.
Yeah.
And a window to show off his tits.
Fuck yeah.
Is that the official wedding dress of Riverside?
Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, and you can see why. You see the effect it has on people.
What a fucking horny dark slut Superman becomes at the end of this episode.
At first I was like, obviously we were led to believe, like, Brainiac's taking him over. This is going to be bad. And then we saw his little titties, and I was like, hold on. Hold on, he's on to something here. Let's see.
What if he opened up this little window in his shirt, and it turns out that Kal-El, Clark Kent, Superman, had one giant nipple and one tiny nipple, and he was like, no, shut that window.
I was wrong.
But Brainiac doesn't show the nips. He puts his big triple nip on him, so he's got like 3 little nips. He's like, you will no longer
distract you from the nips.
It's a test to see which nip you look at.
That's how he figures you out. That's his old big brain energy.
And how he decides if he destroys you or not is which nip you lock onto.
The triple nip.
Oh, the triple. He's got No, triple's already a word. But I was trying to combine triple and nipple. But Kara was so covered up.
Yeah.
Which I guess I appreciate from Brainiac. But Clark is fucking horning down.
He saw an opportunity. But he's not wrong. He's like, Metropolis already loves this man. He's shredded to all hell, and I don't think anybody truly knows how shredded.
I gotta show these cum gutters off to the world by not covering them up with a costume. What the fuck, Brainiac? Honestly, now I get why you have your name, because that suit is doing it for me.
Ooh, that's big brain energy right there.
I have studied thousands of cultures for millions of years to come up with the perfect costume for my handsome boy. Call me daddy.
To thunder down under this motherfucker and send him back to Earth. There's always I love every episode of these shows that we go to. If it's animated, the writers will find a way, or the artists will find a way to make one of them slutty at some point. Like the sluttiest versions you've ever seen. And I'm glad we finally got there. It makes me very happy.
It took just to season 2.
Season 2, and we got slutty Clark. But yeah, he's currently taken over by Brainiac. At the end of the episode, he gets fully taken over, and in his mind, he's just keeping him in a dreamscape where he sees his actual family.
Yeah, and I've talked about this on both Superhero and Movie of the Year, our sister show, where this I think is the most fucked up thing, to put people into this comatose state, whatever it is, and then make them dream about this world that will never be. And he sees his parents, and he has kids, and so his parents are grandparents, and so there's no reason for him to want to come out of that state. That's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, especially right before, because he was, he's going through his memories to try to find his weakness. And he's like, here's all these monsters. He shows us 2 monsters. And of course, we've already seen Superman defeat those, so we know it's all good. And once he realizes it's Lois and Jimmy, he really starts focusing in, and we see Lois dump him again. And that's when he's so he goes from Lois breaking Clark's heart to then here's this family you have. So yeah, it's not going to be easy to convince him out from there.
And when he gets dumped by his girlfriend, I would say that's him at his lowest point.
You had a look in your eye. And I was
I
said something. I said something, and I couldn't tell where it was, but I'm glad that was it. That's good. This feels good.
You can just talk to Caitlin for the next 5 minutes.
Caitlin.
Yes.
How did you, you've been following along. Did you love this episode?
I did. I love all of these episodes. Every time it's exactly what I needed. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time because you have Lois and Jimmy, 2 little humans trying to save Clark, with Kara, but we don't know Kara's full capabilities. And it was very fun to watch them just fuck around and try to find Superman, and then, see Daddy just take over completely. It was very fun.
I think the edge of the seat thing that Caitlin talks about, I think is important, because this show sort of prides itself on giving us kind of nonstop, maybe too many character moments where nothing's happening. And this entire episode was a roller coaster that I don't think the show has ever done before. It was fucking nonstop.
Yeah.
I think even the point where Jimmy and Kara, they meet up again, and Lois finds out, hey, these 2 have chemistry. Hey, these guys have met before. What the fuck is going on here? Even that, I was like, oh, how is she going to react? So everything that they put into this episode, it was all what's going to happen next?
And I got to say that I thought that the chemistry that Jimmy and Kara had was sort of well, I'm new on Earth, so I don't really know what's going on. I didn't think it would last.
Yeah.
She actually still likes Jimmy?
Well, I can't tell. She does like Jimmy. It's also, she's met one human fully, and it's only Jimmy.
And he's the leader of the planet, obviously.
Yeah, she also thinks it's the leader, which, God, if you don't think you could immediately take over Earth.
Take over that shit.
If I'm introduced to Jimmy and I'm like, this guy runs this shit, it's mine now. Not no more. But yeah, so I don't know how long it'll last. But Caitlin, do you like those 2 together?
I think it's cute because Kara knows nothing and Jimmy has nothing in his brain.
You can't. Okay. Okay. It got better. I was worried. I reached out to you and you were like, well, this girl knows nothing.
She knows nothing and he's taking advantage. No, he's absolutely an airhead, and he doesn't even realize that she likes him when they were having their little time together. So I think that's
Yeah.
what makes it even more exciting. I do think she will move on from him once we get back to Earth, hopefully, and then she'll find something a little bit better for her. But for now, I'm fine with this whole Jimmy Kara thing.
Yeah,
a little
it's
bit better,
cute.
like Superman.
Her cousin.
Yeah,
I mean, this is Corn City, USA.
I love corn. The Republicans are trying to ban corn. Project 2025, guys. Watch out for that.
Yeah, they'll take that corn from you.
Don't take that corn from me.
So keep giving money to Corn Hub, and we're going to make it happen, guys.
Hey, guys, we're going to do it. I was bummed. We briefly got Malal in the brain, and then they said bye-bye for the episode, which I guess they're too powerful. We had too much to do, and they're kind of just there to kind of fuck around.
Although they did have a potential moment of the week where they were like, under no circumstances do you two do anything. And they were like, oh, we understand. And then winked at each other.
Yeah.
They're going to fuck shit up.
They're so good. We do have... at the end of this, so we have like going through all the memories and stuff, which I actually want to see how you guys feel about how they did that, because that can be sometimes like draw an episode out or like feel like it slows things down. Do you think they did a good job of going through his memories and us re-seeing things?
I think they did a pretty good job because he also twists a little bit of the memory to make it more negative than it actually was. Because you see what we saw in the past, but then we see it twisted, and you can see how he's slowly trying to twist the false into like the reality, and that more negativity. So you can see how he's trying to like work all that in and make everything.
Shit like that just like makes Brainiac a butthole. Like that's sort of his thing. Is like I want to be a fucking butthole. Like it's not about necessarily about global or universal conquering or whatever. It's just like I just love watching people squirm. You know.
And that's where I was like, I came to the conclusion that this Brainiac, and maybe Brainiac in total, kind of sucks, because he's kind of just like, here's your memories, let me tweak it a little bit, but also it's going to glitch the whole time, so and I was like, bro, you're not even good at this shit. You're not even good.
But is that him not being good at it or him being great at it?
Well, we find out that the reason he was glitching is because he had to charge, and he was charging.
Classic unplug Brainiac and then he'll die. Love that move.
Oh my God. When Brainiac, speaking of when he was like obliterated by Kara, did you guys think that he was like actually outskis dead?
I briefly did, because at this point I considered him a weak bitch.
I love how you say that like it's a technical term. Let me get the medical book. Let me look it up. Page 674. Oh, he's a weak bitch.
Was what I would say, a weak bitch. And so I thought there was potential, but also I figured a lot's been leading up to Brainiac. Like they were like teasing him for a little bit at end of episodes, so it would be too soon to get rid of him. But I do like how they brought him back. That was dramatic as hell when he took over.
And is he, I can't remember if we asked this last time Caitlin was on the show, but is he the reason that Krypton, did he explode Krypton?
I feel like he did. We don't have that answer here, but I feel like he did, because the way that he's alluding to it, it's like these people were too weak. That's why he destroyed all the other planets. So I'm sure he's going to say it like, that's why I did this to Krypton.
But it's not even like a Galactus thing. Like, I need nutrients from each planet. He's just like, you're a bitch. You're dead. To every planet he comes across.
Yeah.
Well, what's a good planet then, Brainiac?
I don't know.
I didn't mean to call you Brainiac. Like,
No, I liked it. I appreciate it.
Hold on, she's going to take you over and make you sexy. Call her daddy.
Triple nip.
Triple nip is coming for you.
Triple nip.
I wish I. Let's not say I wish, but I wonder if Cassie were to take charge of my body, lift me up in the air, and change my costume. What would that costume look like? Would it be the same as Kal-El's or
Sluttier.
sluttier?
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit sluttier.
It's just as someone who has roughly the same build as Clark Kent.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Gotta take advantage of that. We did get to see a lot of how, like, Kara started to realize, how much Brainiac was just like abusing her.
Yeah. So let's get to this part. This was horrifying. Of just like, you're my daughter and I love you. You're a bitch and you fucking suck. I'm gonna throw you into the ground.
Yeah.
You had so much potential. I raised you. I love you. Fuck you. Like, this one scene is like a scene of the year candidate of being horrifying.
Yeah, he really, he was like, there. I thought I saw something in you, and each time you failed me, in some way. And he was like, I loved you, but you suck, and I can't have you anymore. And I was like, dang, okay. We didn't need to go there, but I guess.
But, I don't know, is that someone, is Kara, somebody you want to make an enemy? She's, Superman powerful, right?
Yeah, she's, crazy powerful.
She's crazy powerful, but he still has control over her somehow with,
Right.
whatever is in her brain or something.
Well, I mean, it could be technological, but it could also be, emotional. It was her dad. And,
it's all she knows.
Right. And so, that's the people that find the opportunity to abuse is the people who find that power imbalance and make it happen.
Yeah, but now she knows this, and we saw Clark for a brief moment take control over Brainiac's control and reverse it. So she's also gonna have whatever that power is once she can harness whatever the hell hope or whatever the fuck.
Is it surprising to you guys that there's 2 episodes left? I felt like there was 1 episode.
It felt
left.
like a 1 episode left, but I'm guessing that final one is gonna be all character moments. I would say just the gooey mushy.
The denouement.
The what?
The denouement. So I think that next week everything's going to go to shit.
Yeah.
And then you might be right. The final episode is patching things up, saying I'm sorry, rebuilding barns, Amish stuff.
And then putting down the note, triple nip's not bad.
Triple nip will return
In a spin-off show called Triple Nip Hell Yeah.
Twist those nips.
Just a black screen pops up and it's triple nip will return.
That's what I want.
And then right at the end, the other big thing that happened this episode is so Spider-Man is fully taken over.
Spider-Man is, yeah.
God damn it, dude. Damn it. Every time.
They start with the same letter.
Yeah.
So
they both have man in it.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Yeah,
basically
they do.
the same person. Yeah, buddy. Superman fully taken over. And then Brainiac, he just launches Jimmy and Lois out of into space, basically. Leaves them to die, but Malal and the Brain pick them up. And then Lois decides that the only way to get Superman back is to use the Black Mercy. And then it ends with her just fully in that state.
Well, before Jimmy and Lois are taken away, Jimmy's like, I've got this. I have kryptonite with me, and shows off his little kryptonite. And he gave Brainiac basically Clark's real weakness.
Yeah.
And he's like,
that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Jimmy's always
not
finding
the
a way to
best.
really fuck it up, just naturally.
Naturally, just really good at that. He didn't use it at his good time. He just gave his enemy.
And he came in so confidently to just fuck it up. And I think that's why I hate him, is because I see me on screen. It's just someone trying their best and just naturally fucking it up in every instance. Jimmy, you can die. Then, but we do have, I don't know how this next one will go, but I guess Lois's plan is she'll be able to meet up with Clark in this dream world somehow and convince him to come back, which I guess that sounds comic book. That sounds like it can happen.
it sounds comic book as hell, and also will be the most boring part of the next episode.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't even muster up excitement when I was talking about it.
I think they'll do good. I think they'll do good with it because I have trust in my adventures with Superman.
That's why Caitlin's here. Bring it back up. But that's basically the episode. Let's go to moments of the week. Ryan, what do you got?
I've got 2.
Okay.
One is just how everybody's eyes went black, which is horrifying to me.
But also look pretty red.
And then I said out loud, and Cassie, you'll appreciate this because of where you were born. What is this, a West Borland convention? He was the bass player for Limp Bizkit and always had black contacts. And 2, the fucking line of the season is Brainiac saying, now, let's find your weakness so I can kill you. And that's just, yes, Brainiac, you are the smartest because that is why we find weaknesses. That is such a good point.
And just straightforward, love, flawless. Caitlin, do you got a moment of the week?
Mine probably has to be when Jimmy and Kara are reunited and just how stupid they get and how Lois,
The little
just
rosy
gets
cheeks and everything.
the rosy cheeks, the anime-ness of it, and then Lois just being so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I love that whole moment, that whole scene. Very good. My favorite.
Oh, there was a moment that we didn't talk about where Clark took over, and it was at the same time that Kara was like beating up her father, and it was like the both of them were like fucking him up like in the dream space and then physically. It was just a rad little like anime cutscene thing fight. Rad. Should be my moment of the week, but my other one, I like to classify that one as rad. Brainiac is a little bitch, and my moment of the week is when Malal and the Brain pick them up out of space. They're just like floating in space. They put little arms on the spaceship, but it just grabs it and puts it in like it looks like it's eating it. And I liked that.
No, it's very important to like whatever you're building, have little arms.
Little arms.
To do little things.
Again, the spaceship's so big, so beefy. The arms so scrawny, so little.
I bet you that was the mod that they were doing.
Yeah, it was just little arms. If you want to watch My Adventures with Superman, which you should be at Saturdays on Max, let's go ahead. I'm not Brian.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you for permission. I'm not. I'm just going to go into it. Let's just go and talk about the other episode or the other show this week.
New you.
Yeah, we're just going to fucking do it. Let's talk about The Boys. On this week's episode of The Boys, the gang is trying to figure out how to stop a presidential assassination in a million different ways. Ultimately, it leads to a big fight that features the boys kicking the shit out of the Deep and and Black Noir. Although they're not that fucked up, they're fine. Taste buds, I ask you this: is this season's hated online because it's lesser than, or because Boys fans recently found out that this show is anti-Trump?
I mean, this has been like a going thing that we've been talking about all season, but more and more people are finding out that Homelander was Trump the entire time, and they are turning on the show. And I think it's adorable. Because it's not just that like they just feel so hurt that like they rooted for the show the entire time, thinking that it was doing this one thing, and it hadn't at no point ever been doing that thing.
Yeah.
So they've been review bombing it, and it's the first. I think it's the first male-led TV show or movie to be review bombed by this group. Usually, it's female-directed, female-starring movies and TV shows. And congratulations, The Boys! You're now a girl.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, it's crazy because it's truly been the entirety of this, and like the signs had always been there, and it's just insane that like that first season, like they really latched onto it. They were like, "Fuck yeah, people are gonna get it. This is the dream," and then it really
like props to the showrunner Eric Kripke for coming out and saying like, "I don't want a Fight Club on my hands. I don't want the wrong audience watching this and getting the wrong messages. I'm going to just come out and say it." And man, it's probably not doing good for business or numbers or ratings, but I'm still proud of him. Cassie, we talked about last week, was this show capable of dealing with the fact that Huey was raped?
Yeah.
And in this episode, they did not talk about it, but Huey was raped again.
Again?
What?
Why would they do it again to this man?
So last week he was undercover and went into Tech Knight or Batman's Batcave and was just sexually assaulted for hours. And then this week, his girlfriend, Starlight, puts on her old Starlight costume, and then he is very turned on, and they have sex, and then it was a shapeshifter, which I would consider rape, and so he is raped back-to-back episodes.
We don't need two sexual traumas for the boy back-to-back. Yeah. So if they're doubling down on this, I feel like they have to have a plan where they think they can fucking handle this. If they're going this far with it, I would assume they've got something in the works.
One would consider me a bigger defender of the boys than you, or Caitlin.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely will they not deal with this.
They're just going to let this drop? You think they'll just fully drop it or poorly try to come up with...
Nope. I think that like... We've gotten to this like almost Seth MacFarlane level of not understanding what's funny and what's not.
Gotcha.
Of like
they've pushed so many envelopes that now it's just like.
So like, isn't it funny that boys can get raped too?
Yeah. Cool. So we've done some things, and then okay. What is it about this episode? Is it this episode specifically that really brought it home that Homelander is Trump?
No. That's the whole season. But I think that for Trump voters who are, let's say, slower than most, they're really starting to realize it when people in the audience who don't live in our world, people in like the audience of a Homelander crowd start shouting January 6th over and over again. Like, even though that date in this world has no
meaning.
no meaning to anybody in this show. I think that's when they're really setting it home. But I do think that this episode in particular did come up with like sort of like a good overall arcing theme of that a lot of people in this show, because I think the show for a long time has said like superheroes are bad, absolute power corrupts absolutely, but are the seven who are terrible, the Avengers, worse than the boys, you know? And this one episode did a really good job of saying that like the reason that all this stuff happens is self-hate. And are you able to deal with that? Can you like forgive yourself and then move forward as a good person, or are you a terrible person in the past, present, and future? And I think this episode does a really good job of like that conversation with multiple people.
Gotcha. Is there like who's a standout one that's having that conversation?
Oh man, there's so many. Like are the antagonists are doing it differently than the protagonists, but I would say that on the protagonist side, that Frenchie and Kimiko are handling it with each other of like, no, we're good. We have done bad stuff. That doesn't make us bad.
Yeah.
Can we get better? And then there's Homelander, who's like throwing good money after bad. If you've already done this much awful stuff, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Just keep doing it, you know?
Yeah. That makes sense. I was wondering what is up with Kimiko and Frenchie, because they were my only shining light that I could like hang on to for this episode or this entire show.
I would say that this season has done the two of them the worst in that they have had plot lines that just sort of dissolve or sort of dissipate because the story moves somewhere else. But like they're still there, and he saves her this time, which is probably the first time. She usually saves him.
Yeah.
But she gets injected with the like lose your superpowers and then die injection. The soup killer. Right, which is what I call myself when I go into a soup plantation. Man. I'm gonna fucking
R.I.P. to the real one.
I'm going to eat all that chowder. But she gets injected in the ankle, and he has no choice but to cut her leg off before it affects her whole body. She's going to grow back the leg. It's fine. But, ladies, what song is used in this scene where he cuts off her leg so the gangrene doesn't totally overtake her?
I don't know. Is it that one?
It's actually the second best song that could have been used, with Caitlin providing the first best song. It's Steal My Sunshine by Len.
Is there... So we've been talking about how The Boys hasn't really... It doesn't feel... We don't know what the big plan is or where it's leading to.
Still don't, but like I'm not going to shit on it, and mostly because this is a fine season, and two, if you shit on it, then I sound like every right-wing asshole on the internet.
Yeah,
so
now...
I'm just not going to do it.
All right, should we go to Moments of the Week?
Yeah, I have a couple. The Deep decides to break up with his octopus girlfriend.
Oh, they're still together?
Yeah.
Oh.
By breaking her aquarium and thereby killing her.
Yeah.
And then he sits around the corner of the room while she dies. And it's a very sad scene with very sad music. But she continues to scream and wail for so long that it's a joke. And it reminded me of something. It's an Austin Powers bit. And I wanted to talk to you two.
Yeah, baby.
Young. You guys aren't Gen Z, right?
No.
No.
Does Austin Powers have any meaning
Yes.
to you guys whatsoever? Yes?
As a
A
children
lot.
of divorce, weirdly, I
Yeah.
would say it has a lot.
I think I was formed by it, sadly.
Well, yeah, badly for sure. There's so many bits from Austin Powers that like Austin Powers didn't necessarily create, but like I don't know, make so that like people keep going back to them. One of them is that you just like when Will Ferrell goes in the pit of fire and he just doesn't die, he just keeps screaming.
I'm still living.
Another one is if you're naked in a room, you will find like fruit around to like cover up your bits and berries. The steamroller, where you start screaming because you're about to die, but it turns out that like the steamroller is very far. Like Austin Powers has a huge effect. And my moment of the week is Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Still probably
Check
funny.
it out. Check it out. The Boys is on Thursday on Prime if you want to dig into there. Those are the current shows that came out this week that are coming out week by week. And that's all the time I have to talk about that. I simply have to cut it off. But I do have time to talk about a website. And Caitlin, have you been working on any websites in your off time?
I sure have.
You want to tell the people about it?
Sure, I guess I can. I guess I can let people in. So, as you know, my toe business is going really well. It's not foot; it's strictly toe. So I wanted to create a website that was a little bit different than my toe business and talk about peaches.
Okay. Yeah, toe to peaches. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm connecting it. I see it. Mm-hmm. The vision's here.
Okay. So for my peach website, we are talking a lot about the fuzz on peaches.
Okay.
And what about that, you know?
Like, why it there?
Yeah. What is the need of peaches? It's going to be a peach blog.
Okay. Have you ever picked up a peach and you're like, this peach is too hairy. I simply can't put my lips on this.
And we're not talking about Caitlin's toes right now?
I'm pretty sure. I think it's still peaches. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I do call one of my toes peaches, but it's okay. We're not talking about that one.
Wait, which toe?
Wait, would you know if she described it, which toe she's talking about?
Well, no, like, there's like the fat thumb-like toe, there's the pinky toe, and then there's the in-between guys.
The Boys.
The Boys. Is it one of them?
It's the one that goes to the market.
Okay, this little piggy.
Yeah. That guy goes to the market, and his name is Peaches.
Okay.
And he's covered in too much fuzz.
Way too much fuzz. Like, I'm talking about, we're getting a lot of people in the weird scenes jumping on that toe.
Caitlin,
which is great for business.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have a toe that's covered in too much fuzz, you're going to make $1 billion.
$1 billion. That's a gift. You've been truly blessed.
It's all in stocks right now, but I am a billionaire.
Stocks of toe, like, just toe money? Like
no, stocks like corn. So Trump really can't win.
I see.
Obviously.
Obviously,
we
toe,
figured
peaches,
out economy.
Stock of corn. And also websites. This is a blog just about peaches.
Yeah. And the fuzz.
And the fuzz.
Well,
and
because Cassie.
how good.
Cassie.
Caitlin.
Look.
Have you ever,
listen.
looked at a peach?
Yeah, dude, the different colors on them and how they kind of blend into like an ombre thing, and it combines like all these beautiful little sunset tones on a peach. Absolutely.
Fuck are you guys talking about?
Fucking get it.
Dude.
Ryan, she gets it. She gets
this website's not fucking
Could
for
I get
you.
it? No, all right, fine. Yeah, create a website that just cuts me out right there.
I guess I thought you would get on board with peaches. I thought this was a unifying thing.
I thought peaches meant like butts or wieners.
Well, it can mean butts. It's obviously not a wiener. What about a peach would look like a wiener, bro?
It could be balls, but I guess not wiener.
But nobody likes the balls. Nobody's like, let's appreciate balls.
Go to my website, Cassie, balls.com. Nutsacks for days.
All right, so we have balls.com, nutsacks for days, and what's the URL for your peach blog?
Peachy Keen.
How many EEs in there?
3.
Okay.
And 7.
3 on peaches, 7 in keen.
Yeah.
Great. Balls.com, peachy keen, and I don't remember your other one.
Nutsacks for days.
Nutsacks for days. These are all great websites, but I think they're going to need some help.
Nutsacks for days, just so we're clear, is a advent calendar. Every time you open a door for a new day, a little nutsack falls down.
Honestly, Ryan,
does it drop? Does it drop?
The balls drop.
Yay!
Ryan, I do think people would enjoy visiting this.
Why would New Year's Eve be the only day that gets the ball to drop?
You deserve it every day.
Every day should get the fucking nuts swinging sack.
So when you've had a hard day at work, you're like, I need a little treat. It's time to open my ball sack advent calendar.
And all these advent calendars out there are like, oh, what's the surprise for this day? No surprise.
It's always
nuts every day.
You're going to see some nuts dropping every single day.
That's what I need in my life.
if I know who would love to help you guys with this website.
Oh, this is an advertisement? I had no idea. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going, Cassie.
No, it's going to align perfectly because cybersprout.net, they love websites, they love nuts, they love peaches. This is what I know about them. I also know that they can build beautiful websites. That's because they got design experts that are well-versed in digital strategy and elegant design. They combine the two masterfully. Just like peaches and ball sacks. They work hand in hand with you. They got easy-to-edit fields, custom templates, drag-and-drop tools. Let Cybersprout handle your hosting. They offer premium hosting that's specifically built for WordPress. Visit cybersprout.net to get started. Cybersprout.net, your partner for a digital world. That's it, guys. Let's go talk about Spider-Man. Welcome to S Tasmania Bitch, a mini show within a show where we take an in-depth, episode-by-episode look at the seminal and underrated afternoon cartoon of the mid-90s, Spider-Man the Animated Series. This week, we watched Sins of the Father. She's a Father.
Are you from Chicago?
The Father, Chapter 6, called Framed. Because he was fucking framed, guys. It does pick up. This is the most insane opening to a Spider-Man episode there has been. I thought I missed a whole season.
Yeah.
We jump in, and at first it's Peter being dramatic. Like, there's lightning, there's a storm, and he's like, life is like this. Like, it's unpredictable. You never know when something bad will strike.
This is either new storytelling style to me.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. Or terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, we'll decide that as this segment goes on. But, yeah, he's like, lightning, thunder, just like me. I am like lightning and thunder. And then it's in media res.
Yeah.
He's going to jail. He is in court and he's going to prison. Which, that's interesting. And then he's like, let me tell you how he got in the situation. Why did we have that lightning and thunder bullshit?
Like, me as an adult, full-grown brain. I've been to college.
Many people call you Brainiac.
Many people say you're the Brainiac of our generation. And I'm like, thank you, I know this. I was like, wait, what time? Wait, am I the present or the past? When? Where? I went back to the beginning so many times. I checked if I missed an episode. Absolutely nothing. They throw us from a storm into the past, into a courtroom.
My only explanation, and I know this happens with animated stuff sometimes, is that they were like, guys, we asked for 22 minutes. This, once again, is 19 minutes and 30 seconds. You have to add. And they were like, okay. Thunder, lightning. I think that I am thunder and lightning.
And they were like, how do we get more words in? A courtroom. We'll have a lawyer talk for a long time. And they said, so we see Peter in jail, or in the courtroom, and they're like, this man did the worst thing any human could do, any American could do. He's terrible. And then the lawyer throws out, therefore, so you know he's a smart man. He's like, therefore, he should go to jail.
Ipso facto, quid pro quo, pro bono, he should go to jail. And the judge is like, fuck yeah, man, no bail.
It's the way anybody will instantly hate Peter Parker just upon seeing his face, no matter what he's doing. Like, yeah, I don't care. Throw him in jail.
I have to ask you, Cassie, though, who is this blonde gentleman sitting next to Peter Parker?
This kin-ass motherfucker with a deep voice. There's a lawyer next to him. And
blonde as the day is long.
He looks like he could surf, absolutely. And
remember, surfing corrupts. Absolute surfing corrupts, but surfing power corrupts absolutely. Surfing absolutely.
Absolutely. But we don't get to see this lawyer do too much in this little flashback. We just see they're like, hey, guilty, put him in jail. We then cut to Peter being taken away in handcuffs, and he's like put in a police van. And to get even wilder, this police van gets ambushed, and Spider-Man breaks him out from this.
Now, I have to ask, Cassie, is this the actual Spider-Man, even though Peter Parker's in the van? Or is this a Spider-Man wearing the chameleon's belt that we have seen multiple episodes? God damn it.
And again, like, this is a town that's basically centered on Spider-Man and how Spider-Man saves them. They absolutely hate this menace.
It's what everybody's talking about all day, every day.
All day, they're just waiting to see Spider-Man. And none of them notice that this is a fancy Spider-Man with a little belt. Not a single one of them is like, hey, now, what's up with that?
Why would Spider-Man put on a belt to be like, hey, I'm Spider-Man and I fucking hate you?
Look at my web. So he gets a full prison break thing. And we then go to another flashback in the middle of this. Because I guess he's trying to piece the pieces together as we are. And he's like, let me fill you in. A little bit ago, I don't even know. He gets called in to meet Wilson Fisk.
Yes, he is approached by Richard Fisk, whose name is Dick Fisk, I guess.
Yeah, dude.
Dick Fisk. And who will someday become the Rose. That is his crime name. To meet Wilson Fisk. And this son does not call his father the Kingpin, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know that this is the Wilson Fisk. Wilson Fisk is in his giant, apartment garden.
Yeah.
Just doing some gardening. And we learned that Wilson Fisk, although he is the crime boss of Hell's Kitchen and New York in general, is also into war tech and is selling the government billions of dollars.
Billions.
Of tank. He just has a tank factory and he's just ripping off tanks left and right.
Just like a war factory.
Yeah.
Just a straight up war factory. And for some reason, he's like, Peter, I know how to repay you. I have a war factory. And I believe your dream was to always work at a war factory.
Yeah.
And Peter's like, absolutely, that's my number one dream in life.
Peter, we have a job where you put a disc into a computer and you go beep bop, and it tells you if the war is going to go good or not. And he's like, I love that job. Fucking.
That's what I've been training for my whole life, basically.
I want to make sure that tanks get to countries full of poor people and then just shoot the shit out of them.
I would love nothing more than that.
I like Spider-Man, whatever. Becoming a scientist, whatever. I just want to put I want to hit some beep bop boops and make sure that those tanks work.
And we then get to see him do this very important work. We salute a man who's doing this. And he's like, I never saw any secrets or anything as a spaceship's getting launched behind him, but he's too focused on putting a little disc into a computer and hitting the beep boops to see that.
I never thought anything was wrong, despite the fact that aliens are training behind him to kill anybody with a turban in their sight. He's like, no, this is just fine American work.
This is just normal war factory things.
I'm Peter Parker, a newspaper photographer. This is where I belong right now.
This is my life goal. And he's loving this. He's loving this factory work.
He gets to work at the factory every morning and he gives windmill high fives to all the fucking disgusting people who are building this shit. No, this is just his life, baby.
And he's taking home these little discs. He's like, it gives me all the errors of the machine, and I get to take this little disc home, and that's the joy of my life.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Fisk. This tank doesn't work. It doesn't shoot enough people. Should I fix it? Oh, okay. I'm going to fix it.
Okay. No, he doesn't even get to fix it. He just gets to hold the data saying...
Tell people, hey, somebody fix this tank. It's not going to fucking kill a million people.
It's not going to kill enough people. I don't know what to tell you. And then we see this happening. One day he takes home his little disc and he goes to get a hot dog or pretzel. I think a pretzel.
No, it's a hot dog.
It's a hot dog.
And not to blow any awards for the future, but just goes to a normal ass hot dog vendor. Cassie, I'm going to say the most normal hot dog vendor you've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, just a red. The cart's even red and yellow, just welcoming.
Ketchup and mustard.
Ketchup and mustard. It's really welcoming. They've got the little hat. They got the little apron.
Yeah.
They're like, hot dogs here.
And Peter Parker says, I'm just a fucking war criminal. I deserve a hot dog. This is very nice. And audience, we're building to something here, okay? So bear with us. This normal-ass hot dog vendor will hand me a hot dog so I can enjoy my lunch in private.
He's like, hey, hot dog vendor, one, please. You know how I like it.
This stupid bitch, not expecting anything, is just like, one hot dog, please.
Hey, it's your boy, Warman Peter Parker. And I'm here for my hot dog. And this vendor is coming right up, pulls out a fucking bazooka.
What?
A laser-ass 2033 bazooka.
The size of her body, it's behind the cart. Just holds him at gunpoint.
And Peter Parker, of course, because he's Peter Parker, thinks, well, that's not a hot dog. Just barely reacts at all.
He's just like, what? Is it bad for my cholesterol? I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, that gun looks like it's made from pig livers and lips.
a whole team comes down on him now, and he's getting chased. So he turns into Spider-Man, obviously, because when you're getting chased, you got to use your Spidey powers. The team doesn't question for a second. They're like, Spider-Man is working with Peter Parker. This is his accomplice. Get Spider-Man now. Because why not? Flawless thinking. And the guns they're shooting, I just want to point out, are laser guns.
Yes. We go back to
they go pew pew.
We go back to the Austin Powers theory.
Yeah. Spider-Man gets away from this, and he's worried. He's like, whoa, this is all weird because they were after Peter Parker. Weird.
Not weird, war criminal, but I see how he thinks that.
Yeah, he's like, I do nothing now. I'm just a stand-up human. Why would they be after me? He then has to go check on Aunt May, of course. Terrible mistake. He leads them to Aunt May. So they bust into his home at gunpoint and hold him at gunpoint with Aunt May.
And is Aunt Anna there too? Or is that later?
That's later.
Okay. Fuck that bitch. But I realize in this episode why we think Aunt May is so old, and it's not just because of her decrepit bones, but every picture in her house is like one of those turn-of-the-century silhouettes that you only see at Disneyland now.
Yeah.
That's what she has hanging everywhere in her house.
Everywhere.
What an old-ass bitch.
like, try to be young.
Yeah.
Can you put any effort into being young?
Could you put, like, at least do a silhouette of JoJo Siwa or something?
This is why you're in a hospital every other episode. This is why you need your life
Those
alert.
silhouettes are sucking the life out of you, Aunt May.
And Peter's like, I can't risk using any Spider-Man powers. It'll put her in danger. So they take him.
That'd be awesome if they took her.
I know. They were like, fuck you. I need this old lady.
She's probably a war criminal.
And Aunt May's like, whoa, you can't just take my son. I'm calling the cops. And then that's when we learn the people taking him are the fucking cops.
Whoa.
They're
Their
the
cell phone
cops.
ring.
They pull out a little laptop / Walkman thing because they're like, he's like, what on earth would you want for me? And they're like, give me that disc, you little disc war criminal. And he's like, this thing just has data on it. And they're like, data or government secrets that you've been selling. And they put it in a little Walkman laptop thingy. And it's like, look, here's all these codes, these secret codes.
They frisk him for the disc. And while they're frisking the disc, they don't realize that it's a fist disc. They're frisking him for the fist disc.
Are you proud? How proud? How proud on 1 to 10?
That's an 8.
Good. We then see they're like, yeah, Peter, you're now accused of treason. We've really escalated here. And Aunt May's like, not my little good boy, but he is.
She keeps saying he's a good boy. He's 47 years old.
47 and should be paying his own rent.
Stop talking about these people like they're children. Oh, but he's such a good boy.
We then cut to prison, and they're like, you're gonna need a good lawyer. And boom, that's when we see this can-ass motherfucker, dude.
Ooh. Hello. My name is Matt Murdock, and I am here to be your lawyer. And Parker doesn't love it because he's like, blind?
Yeah,
The second he sees him, he's like, what?
He's like, no, a blind one? I don't think so. I've seen some things, but a blind lawyer? And Matt Murdock's instantly like, well, I've never met somebody who's on trial for treason, so
Not
fuck you.
equal, Matt Murdock. Being blind and being in court for treason are not equal.
But apparently this Matt Murdock is only like a big time lawyer. He only takes the cases if you've got a lot of money.
Oh.
So they're like, yeah, somebody wanted you on the case, like wanted me, like paid for me to
Well,
be
I was
with
thinking
you.
that he loves you too. Like, is he pro bono?
I see it. Yeah, I see it. Okay, good work there.
Oh, and by the way, this is some just a little bit of trivia for you guys. This voice, the Daredevil, Matt Murdock, was voiced by Eddie Albert. His father is Edward Albert, who was the voice of the Vulture from previous episodes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nepotism.
Nepo baby.
I love Nepo babies. At this point, I can't tell you how we end up at a warehouse meeting Richard Fisk. Do they break him out of prison?
Did Richard Fisk go to prison?
No, because this is when they're like they reveal to him that like this
cares?
is part
Move
of.
on.
All right, this is when Fisk is like, we needed a fall man. You were our fall man. And now
And then put him into a different prison.
yeah, they put him not a prison. They put him into a tube where he can't breathe and get out of.
Right. So like instead of like all of this, you know how much technology it takes to like take somebody's powers away? Like that's a lot of work. Take out the air.
Just take
the air out.
It's flawless, and they're like, not even Spider-Man could get out of here, and they're right. He's absolutely stuck in there.
As Dick Fisk is walking away from the Spider-Man lack of oxygen chamber, he's just like, he's still, even though Spider-Man cannot hear him, he's like, goodbye, Spider-Man. It takes a couple more steps. Goodbye, Spider-Man. Like that's such evil villain shit.
He just had to, because he had Chameleon there with him. He's like, goodbye forever.
So they're competing villains then, right? Like they're trying to show their villain dick.
Yeah. We then cut up to the roof, I think, and this is when we see a dude like thrown. We just see like a little billy club thing flying through the air, taking people out.
Cassie, who's that?
Who could it be?
Who's that?
Who the fuck could it be, dude?
I bet it's a blind lawyer.
It's a blind ass motherfucking lawyer. Yeah, it's absolutely Matt Murdock. He takes down all those people. He busts out Peter Parker. He just like opens the door and he's like, "Your lawyer, Matt Murdock, sent me."
Oh my god, yes.
The fact that this is why I love this show. The fact that Peter Parker and Matt Murdock and Spider-Man and Daredevil have no idea that any of the four of them are the same. And it just happens to work out this way. And then the other thing I love about the show is that they go back out the same way that Daredevil came. And Spider-Man or Peter Parker is like, there's a bunch of fucking beaten up goons here. And Daredevil's like, yeah, I fucking did that.
Yeah, dude, that's what's up. That's your boy.
Your boy did work.
That's how I roll. And he drops him off at a random place, doesn't tell him where it is. And then he dips out. He's like, well, there's more crime to attend to. I'm out of here. And then we cut to fucking surfer blind lawyer in a robe pouring tea. He's like, so you met my associate Daredevil.
Dude, I love superheroes. My friend Daredevil, who is not me and I am not him.
As you can see, because there was very little time in between when the two of us were on screen.
So many people say that our voices are the same, but they're not.
They're not.
That's something that you're thinking, and it's not true.
Some say our jaws look the same. They're not.
And then what do we have? Do we have like a 10-minute mini episode of Daredevil origin?
Yeah, Daredevil's background. And it is, of course, his father was a fighter, absolutely. But his father got washed up. Nobody wanted to see him no more, so he had to turn to crime. Little Matty Murdock saw him turn to crime and was ashamed. Ran straight into traffic. Got blind.
Got blind.
I'll show you, Dad.
Papa was like, I think it was a Fisk guy running the truck or some shit.
No, it's all Fisk.
And he was
like the bumper sticker on the back of the truck said Fisk did this.
This was Fisk, you know it. And the father is now like, I'm gonna get Fisk back. He doesn't get Fisk back. He gets caught in the middle of it. Fisk kills his dad, and this is why Daredevil is the way he is and is after Fisk.
Now I have to ask both of you, because we talked about Superman and all the origins that we know about the villains and even the heroes. Is this common knowledge? Do you guys know the Daredevil origin from the TV show? Or
I knew the Netflix version.
Yeah.
What was the Netflix? Was it this?
His dad was a fighter who was getting paid
to drop.
He was kind of a washed out one though, still, because he was getting paid to drop, right? In the Netflix one.
Yeah, but he had that devil in him.
Got that
He had that fucking
Daredevil.
He had that devil in him. You could have knocked that boy down if you wanted to. If he wasn't throwing it, you could have knocked that motherfucker down. So he didn't throw a fight because he wanted his boy to see his dad win.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to be a winner one day, and then
he got
something.
He got taken out because he didn't throw the fight that he said he was going to by, I believe it was Fisk's guys.
Yeah,
Like behind,
and
like
then,
really drawn out Fisk's guys.
And then little blind Maddie just was trying to save a dude, and like a chemical truck ran him over.
Yep.
I don't. There's
He was blind.
And you guys know that part of those chemicals went down the sewer, right?
To the rats and to the turtles.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
It's the same accident that caused Daredevil caused the Ninja Turtles.
What a good accident, honestly.
The ooze.
I mean, like, wasn't it kind of good that it happened? Because we got 5 heroes out of it, Daredevil and the Ninja Turtles?
I think the real hero is that driver. Let's hear it for that guy. Yeah, and then we see, we also learn how he became the Daredevil. Is this in this cut thing, too? He wouldn't be telling Spider-Man this, though.
No, Peter Parker leaves, and he's like, I wish I could have told you all of it, Peter Parker. but I couldn't, and then tells the rest of it.
How he was a blind boy, and then a blind man showed him how to be a tough boy.
A blind man named what?
Stick.
And what is the name of the Ninja Turtles person who taught them how to be ninjas?
Master
Shredder?
Splinter.
Splinter, Stick. And who does Daredevil fight? What's the main gang?
The Hand.
Foot.
The Hand.
Sorry.
And who do the Ninja Turtles fight?
Foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys see? Do you guys see
dude.
how it's all coming together?
It's all there. It's all there. I'm with you, dude. This isn't a conspiracy. This is absolutely true.
We are through the looking glass.
Good. Yeah, and this is he like pumps himself up on this. He was like, the kids used to bully me. They would call me Daredevil because they thought a blind boy couldn't do anything. Now look at me. I flip from buildings. And you're like, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you do.
Still blind.
Still blind. Still blind. You still see everything in kind of red little woob-woobs, but all right.
Do you guys ever see that viral clip of this little blind girl getting interviewed by a reporter? And the little blind girl's capable of so many things. And the reporter says, is there anything you can't do? And she's like, see. Classic.
Classic. We then go to the present. And this is when we get, what's that bitch's name? She's visiting Aunt May.
Aunt Anna.
Aunt Anna.
The AU next Tuesday. Who says, I always hated that Parker because, one, he was never there for Aunt May when she needed him. And two, because of all this. All of this is being accused of being a traitor to the United States. Do you think these two things are equal?
And she always knew all along he was a war boy. She saw that in him.
This motherfucker was going to build tanks and then steal from the government and try to bring the country down. I knew it. I knew it.
He's a bad guy. And this,
but if you accuse everybody of that, eventually you're going to be right.
Yeah,
So-
you're gonna hit one of them. And this, like, all of a sudden they're like gabbing away, and they're like, "Oh, what's Aunt May up to?" Aunt May is basically dying.
Fun.
They have to call an ambulance because she's gotten sick because this is all too much for her.
Well, at this point, for Aunt May, an ambulance is like
An Uber.
Yeah, like every night at 9 p.m., the ambulance goes to Aunt May's house because they know they have to take her to the hospital.
We then see, like, Spider-Man is like, he has no idea this is happening. He comes back to the house. He's like, I gotta stay quiet so Aunt May can stay asleep. This has all been hard on her, but I gotta go find, like, evidence to see that people have been, like, setting me up. So he grabs a Spider-Man suit. He goes to, like, the war factory. He finds some evidence. He clears his name.
He sees an envelope that says evidence. He's like, fuck yes. This is what
me.
I wanted.
That's what I needed. Daredevil then comes in and they get in a little fightsies.
And Spider-Man says the classic line, he thinks me kidnapped me. So they get in a fight because just take off your masks, you fucking homos, and prove it to each other. You guys just want to kiss. Why are you fighting?
Why? Just kiss it out. And, like, throughout all of this, like, when Daredevil brought Peter to his house, Peter snuck out, and it was like, if you would have just hung out a little bit longer, you would have saw him, like, crawl outside the window and into the sewers. Like,
they have so much in common. Do you guys think that Peter and Matt would make one of the best couples in comic book history?
They'd be so cute together, dude.
God damn it. Just do it. Do I have to write some fucking fanfic?
Do it. It's time. The guards then, like, activate. They, like, set off a bomb. There's an explosion, and, like, debris falls on Spider-Man and Daredevil. And that's the episode.
To be continued.
We get more Matt Murdock, more of this.
For the first time in this 13, 14, 15 part series, 2 episodes are actually to be continued.
And we are still dealing with sins of the father, of course.
Yes, of course.
Of course
Sins
we
of
are.
the father.
All right, so that was the episode. We've now gotten to the award section of this. Caitlin, I'm going to put you in charge of rewarding these points.
Can do.
And just so you know, Caitlin, Cassie doesn't have to win.
I don't have to,
She can.
but I should.
Okay, it's a good argument.
Should win. Let's start this off with best web zinger. What do you got, Ryan?
I just said it. It's he thinks he kidnapped me. He thinks I kidnapped me.
Yeah.
Just a complicated plot wrinkle that really worked for me.
It's flawless 90s cartoon. Mine, I got, are you trying to tell me that this hot dog's bad for my cholesterol? When a bazooka straight in his face and he just was trying to get a hot dog.
Cassie, I'm going to be honest right now. I really tried to not make all the awards about that one.
One scene. It's going to be, I have terrible news for you. It's all that one fucking scene, dude.
Most of my awards are as well.
It's all that scene. Caitlin, who are you going to give the awards and how many points are you giving away?
It's got to be for the glizzy scene, obviously.
Obviously.
Oh,
The glizzy.
I know who I'm going
Glizzy
for.
Zuka? Oh my god. I'm giving you 999 points.
Wow. Good luck, Ryan.
Well, I could get 200 on the next one. I do have to tell you, Caitlin, that I did teach my 3-year-old daughter the new word for hot dog, and I did credit Aunt Caitlin for
Yes!
for
Are
the
you
glizzies.
are you sucking up to her right in the middle of this point?
Oh
thing?
no, I didn't even mean to do that.
Fuck
Second
that,
up with
dude.
glizzies.
Let's go to Kung Fu Grip or Best Move or Power. Ryan, what do you got?
Kung Fu Grip, for sure, for me, has to be. He's Peter Parker. He doesn't want to reveal that he's Spider-Man. But this lady whips out a bazooka, and he bops it out of her hand as hard as he can, and then sprints like crazy down the street.
Yeah.
And it's some of the best directing and writing I have ever seen in like The Sopranos, The Wire. They've never done it.
He's like, how would a normal person react in this moment?
Bop! And then just runs like crazy.
Just, your normal human would. For Best Move or Power, I have breaking a dude out of a sail to then throw him in a tube where he can't breathe, just for the heck of it. And Caitlin, between those two, what do you think deserves the points?
God, it's got to be running away. Ryan, I got to give that one to you.
Yipes. God, and he sprints so fast and like doesn't like fly through the air or wall crawl, just spider sprinting all the way down the street.
Good.
No way.
Good.
How many points for that scene?
875.
Okay. All right. I like it. You're going to really make me do math at the end of this. And God damn it, dude.
Because you have a computer in front of you.
Yeah, but like, what am I supposed to do? Use it?
Make it do math.
Yeah. Nah, I don't think so. Not me,
Nah.
dude. That's not how I was raised.
No.
Not me. Let's go to most 90s thing. What do you got, Ryan?
I have this. This might be a little specific, but in comic books, at some point, we just decided to have more black than your color of your costume.
Uh-huh.
And we got this a little bit in Extaz, but it's definitely here with Daredevil that, like, his costume is red,
Yeah.
but it's black. Like, they put so much black on it. And
Yeah.
It looks cool, but I don't know if it looks cool because it looks cool or because it's so nostalgic for me to just, like, he's so covered in shadow and whatnot. You
Yeah.
know? Like, the red is so dark that it's mostly literally black.
They got to show he's a bit more mysterious in Bad Boy than like the bright red on Spider-Man. They got to differentiate the two. He's a boy of the night.
I wish there was at some point Spider-Man watching or Peter Parker watching Daredevil work and be a superhero. He was like, "This guy's amazing." There's no way, just out of nowhere, I will say, there's no way he's blind. Like that's
That's crazy.
that would be crazy, right?
It's wild. For most 90s thing, I have the cop guns being laser guns. It just felt very 90s to me. Caitlin, reward those points.
Got to be those laser guns, Cassie.
Hell yeah, it is.
Got to be them lasers.
How many points?
427.
427. I'm doing really fucking good this episode, Ryan.
I think I'm beating you.
Nope. I can't do math, but I can see that you are not.
Don't I have like almost 900 points?
No. Well, almost 900. Yeah, but I got over 900 on my first one.
Oh, fuck.
Which is bigger. I learned some math. Let's go to New York as a character. What do you got for it, Ryan? Are we going to have the same one?
I hate to keep going back to it, Cassie, but the hot dog vendor, New York as fuck, has a bazooka, New York as fuck.
New York is fucked, dude.
That's double New York.
It's still New York, and that just is the most New York moment out of this one. It absolutely is.
Hey, can I have a hot dog? Fuck you.
And the fact that Peter, after a day of war crimes, had to go hit his neighborhood hot dog vendor.
International war crimes. Not even like stateside. International war crimes. And he's just like not fazed by the fact that a New York hot dog vendor has a laser bazooka. A lazooka, as we call them.
Caitlin, I leave that up to you to reward however you feel.
I will be giving that to Ryan, and I'm going to give him... Wow. This is numbers, man. Let's see. I'm going to give you 682 points.
All right, now we're past the point where I can do math off the top of my head to know who is ahead. So it's all going to come down to Cassie compliment, which is going to be a bonus round for you, Ryan. This is where you can take it all. Compliment me.
I love how Caitlin is rolling a 1,000-sided die to determine the points. And how big is that die? Dice? How big is that dice? Die. How big is that die?
Big.
Okay, thank you. At one point, Spider-Man says, "I have to stop underestimating you. You seem to have a second sense."
Uh-huh.
And that is something that I think about Cassie all the time. Although I will correct what Spider-Man says about Daredevil. I think it's sixth sense. Mm-hmm. Or for, I guess, Daredevil, it would be fifth sense. Second sense, I don't know what that would be. But, Cassie, you always seem to have a second sense, which is touch. Taste. No. Severe lack of taste. Hold on. Smell. Your sense of smell is incredible.
Yeah, dude, I got a good sniffer. That's right, I do. Caitlin, does that deserve any bonus points, you feel?
You really yarfed that one. That one, Ryan. I'm going to be honest. You should have yiffed it, but you yarfed it.
Can we... Is there negative points?
She's got to be honest in that you yarfed it, dude.
Oh, no. Always be honest.
She'd love to say a yiff on that one, but you clearly yarfed it, and everyone's saying it, so...
I'm slowly learning Caitlin, and, like, the words are becoming clearer.
So, any points, negative points?
No.
What happens
just
when
none.
he yarfs it?
Just none. And
Just
because
none.
I don't know math either, and so I don't know who won.
Great. Well, let me tell you, thanks to my computer calculator, let me beep bop boop and do some war crimes here. Oh no. Oh no.
Did I destroy you?
Oh no. Oi, no. I
noi.
just don't know how to do a calculator, apparently. This is half of my job that I get paid for. Division. Why'd I get 2.3? We'll never know who won this
God.
one.
I can actually calculate it if you want.
We'll never know who won it. I like to say it's me, or that we've tied.
Caitlin, in fact, if you could do the math, because the look on Cassie's face makes me think that she did do the math.
I don't know why I can't calculate right now, and this is bad podcasting, and Mike's going to yell at me. I keep getting 2 point something.
What's 8 plus 6?
14. My Christ. My Christ in heaven.
Okay. Cassie, you came out with 1,426 points. Ryan,
That's strong.
you ended up with 1,557 points. Our winner.
Not just the winner tonight, but I believe that's a record breaker for points.
That's I believe 1,500 is absolutely
Because usually I get 2 or 4.
Yeah, you guys keep reminding me that I can throw out however many points, and I've never really embraced it like Caitlin has.
Do you have a 1,000-sided die?
I don't. I got to invest in one of those.
They are 1.5 tons. So
It's worth it. I need
Caitlin's
it.
one arm is very strong.
As we
came on
Her
established-
rolling arm.
Yeah, I can't even rip a cupcake, so I simply can't pick that die up.
Whereas Caitlin flips that die with her 2 toes. Her 2 peachy fuzz toes.
Nasty. I think that's a great note to end this episode on. I think I would love to send everybody out with that imagery. Please subscribe or follow wherever you get your podcast. You can catch every episode on YouTube at yourpopfilter.com. We got some websites. You can go to popfilter.co. That's where everything Pop Filter lives.
Related, yeah.
Yeah, there's like little articles. There's the shows. There's like, I don't know, fun little things up there. We could put up a picture of Caitlin's toe if you guys want.
Nope. We're not going to do that.
Gotta
but
pay.
I will
Gotta
say,
pay.
We can't. I'm getting feedback. There's multiple no's on putting a toe up on the website. Okay, I take that back.
I am getting feedback from my tummy back into my mouth. So let's not do that. The last article we wrote, I believe, was from 2006. So
Yeah.
it's mostly just for a podcast.
No. I wanna promote those. Those 2006 articles are fucking bangers, and people should still be checking them out.
Just mostly talking about the subprime mortgage crisis.
Check it out. Have you guys heard about what we're doing? You should also go to popfilter.co/Amazon. I know you guys are already using Amazon, and we would like to get some of those monies. And if you type in popfilter.co/Amazon, that's how we get some of those monies. Please and thank you. We also have another show on the network. Ryan, can you tell the people about it?
Movie of the year is going on right now. It is 1984, which I believe was the year that both of you were born.
Yeah, dude. Mm-hmm. 84?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Because you guys are old.
Yep.
Old.
Remember those movies that you watched when you were born?
Yeah, I remember
Temple of Doom?
Temple of Doom.
Gremlins?
Gremlins?
Ghostbusters?
Dude, don't even get me started on
Karate
Ghostbusters.
Kid?
The Kid
Ooh.
of Karate.
Yeah. See? 1984, movie of the year. Check it out.
Check it out. We're on social media. Caitlin, you know the handle for that?
Yeah, at your pop filter on Instagram.
Fuck yeah, she knows it.
What about
dude.
for threads?
At your pop filter.
Probably. We're not on threads, but that would probably be it.
I mean, if nobody has taken it, and
Yeah.
please don't. We got to get over on threads.
But if you did take it, we'll offer you $500,000.
We have
for
it. We have so much money. We just don't like to flaunt it. But we could send that to you. We also got an email. It's contact@popfilter.co if you want to send us an email. You got any questions? Anything you want us to bring up on the show? Again, if you want to request a toe picture from Caitlin.
For free?
No, she's set a standard that you absolutely have to pay.
$25,000 per picture.
Per picture.
They can ask,
So-
and then I will send them invoice.
And she will send an invoice specifically. You will have to pay through invoice.
Also, if you pay the money, you'll get a Caitlin toe. If you harass her, you'll get a picture of her husband's toe. And that's... You don't want that.
You don't want it. But you do
I
want
heard
to send
it's
us...
cheesy? Is there cheese? Is there toe cheese?
That's the word on the street, is that it's cheesy.
It's very cheesy, actually. It's got
Smegma?
Swiss smegma, green.
I don't like how confidently and just straightforward with you're like, yeah,
Spinach.
cheesy. Great. Spinach toes. That's it for the show, guys.
It keeps getting worse. The show keeps getting worse.
Think about spinach toes when you think about us. And that's it for Mike. I'm Ryan. For Ryan, I'm Mike. For me, I'm me. For me, I'm Caitlin. Bye, everyone.